What a roller coaster of a game. From being down 10 to being up 3 at half to being up 20 in the third quarter to having it be cut to a 4-point lead in the fourth to end up being a 9-point win. We'll break down what happened on this episode of Heat Digest, where we create daily Heat content. So if that interests you, subscribe to the channel, as 89% of you guys are not currently subscribed, and we appreciate your support. Let's get to it and break down this massive Miami Heat win, as this was a crazy, crazy game. It was awesome to watch. It was very, very entertaining from start to finish. And it was the Miami Heat's second game back from the All-Star break. It was the second of 4 games out west on a road trip. Now, the first game was Friday night, where the where the Miami Heat went to the New Orleans Pelicans and won in a intense game, as there was a scuffle and there were players suspended, and those players were Jimmy Butler and Nikola Jovic. Now, also, Tyler Hero, Rozier, and Josh Richardson all did not play tonight as well. That is 5 inactive players for the Miami Heat, the important players, as Thomas Bryant was also not active tonight. He doesn't see a lot of playing time, so not really much of a highlight. But again, another inactive player for the Miami Heat, and they were able to beat the number 5 seed in the Western Conference in the Sacramento Kings in an away game. Sacramento is at home, and they beat them by 11. A number 5 team out west, a good team. They do struggle in the half-court offense, and that was highlighted tonight explicitly, as they were definitely living and dying by the three-point shot if it wasn't a layup by Sabonis or some form of layup created by Sabonis. But again, we'll get to that in just a minute. What a game from start to finish. Bam Adebayo and Dante Sabonis really did their things. It seemed like it was going to be, especially in the first quarter, it was going to be a battle of the two centers. The final stat lines for both of them, very competitive between the two. Sabonis had 14 points, 14 rebounds, 10 assists, 6 of 8 shooting from the field. Bam Adebayo did have 28 points, 10 rebounds, and 7 assists while shooting 11 of 18. That is not all. It doesn't really tell the whole story, as his defense and his leadership really was a lot more than just the stat lines say. Again, 28, 10, 7, 2 steals, a block. He did have 4 turnovers, but his plus-minus was plus 11. And again, 11 of 18 shooting, 6 of 7 from the free throw line. He did attempt and miss 1 3 tonight, but again, overall great play. And the whole team as a whole, like everyone, it was next man up mentality with all of these players absent tonight, and that's what we got from the Miami Heat. It was awesome to see. DeLon Wright got his first his first really good set of playing time for the Miami Heat. He did start tonight. He did play well. After missing his first three-point attempt, he did end up making 2 out of the 4 overall in the game. 13, 5, and 3, and a hell of a defensive player from start to finish. Didn't matter if we were up 20 in the third quarter or if we were down 10 going or in the second quarter, in the midst of that second quarter. He was just a magnet to the ball. It didn't care if it was De'Aaron Fox, Malik Monk. He was attached to their hip, and he just pestering all night long. He's going to fit in great in Miami. But the story of the night, it's even hard to just say it's one guy or the other, as Duncan Robinson was absent all night, really off on the floor, as he shot 1 of 11 from the field. He missed every three-point shot. He went 0 of 6, but he did make the 2 out of the 3 2 out of the 3 free throws. He did make one of them being a technical for a 3-second defensive violation, but he had 11 assists and 2 turnovers and a plus-minus of plus 25. Now, if the shot's not falling and you can do that, you can have a job on any NBA team in the entire NBA. That what a stat line, what a game by Duncan Robinson. You don't expect this out of him anytime, any game of the year, and he knew that the shot wasn't falling, and rather than just continue to shoot himself into a deeper and deeper hole until he came out of it, he decided to facilitate the basketball at a high level. 11 assists, only 2 turnovers, plus minus of plus 25. Huge for Duncan Robinson. Now, that's not it. Jaime Jaquez Jr., there's no way this kid is 22. I refuse to believe it. 12 of 17 from the field, 1 of 2 from the three-point line, 26 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 steals. I don't know how his plus-minus is -5, as the shots this kid would make when the offense would go flat for Miami, and it did a bunch of times, especially when Bam Adebayo came off of the floor for the Miami Heat to sit. Yes, there was times when Kevin Love went on runs by himself, including a 9-0 run in that third quarter, including a bunch of other little things that he did throughout the night. He was also a star player. We'll get to that in just a minute. But Jaquez, especially down the stretch of the fourth quarter, was fantastic. And his game is so mature. There's, again, like I said, there's no way he's as young as they say he is. I need someone to check his birth certificate because he has a game like he is a 45-year-old old head at your local pickup gym. It is in the post. It's pump fake, perfect footwork like around the basket. It is a phenomenal, it's just a piece of artwork from start to finish. Whenever he touches the ball, especially tonight, it was fantastic. Every shot he made seemed way too tough for him to even attempt it, and he did phenomenal. It was awesome to watch. 12 of 17, once again, without Jimmy Butler. He did get the start. He played 38 minutes, and it wasn't just the offense. The defense was working. Again, like Wright tonight, a pest on the hips of these defenders, these Malik Monks, these Keegan Murrays who did burn us tonight, De'Aaron Fox, just making life a serious problem on the offensive end for the Sacramento Kings. Now, the last guy I want to point out, well, two guys. Haywood Highsmith made a bunch of timely threes. He did play great defense. Another defensive scrapper really stepped up and played a great role tonight. 15 points, 4 rebounds. He did have 3 steals on the night off the bench, 29 minutes. And then Kevin Love. I don't know how he's still doing it, but he did it tonight, and he did it well. 19 points, 7 rebounds, and an assist. 6 of 9 from the field, 2 of 3 from the three-point line. 2 of those threes came in the second quarter when we didn't have Bam Adebayo, and our offense was really going stagnant. And Kevin Love came into the game, realized that it just wasn't working. The offense wasn't going to get it done. It seemed like no one really could get anything to fall for a time being. Thankfully, our defense was working, and we were able to get stops when we weren't able to score. But then Kevin Love came through. He hit 2 threes, and he had an and one possibility in the second quarter by himself. He had 9 straight points for the Miami Heat, and it was huge as we were down 10 at one point in the second quarter, and it was largely because Bam played basically the entire first quarter, didn't play a lot of the second, and then he came in. But by the time he came in, the offense was really flat, and it didn't seem we could get anything going. So Kevin Love, despite being as old as he is and as just the game being as altered as it is, he was fantastic, especially in stretches of this game. Overall, the Miami Heat, without the players they did, no Hero, no Rozier, no Butler, those are 3 legitimate starters for the Miami Heat, let alone Josh Richardson, a significant role player in Nikola Jovic, who has been phenomenal in a majority of the games he's played this year, especially in the games when we've been shorthanded, we've needed him to step up. We didn't have any of those guys, and the Miami Heat played fantastic tonight, and it was phenomenal to see. Now, these are our last, I believe it's our last 12 games. We only have 2 losses. We have been amazing. We've won our last 4 games, and we've won our first 2 games since being back from the All-Star break. It's going to be interesting as we do have 2 more games on the road at Portland tomorrow night at 10 o'clock, another 10 p.m. game, Eastern Standard Time, killing me over here as we are in Florida watching these games, having to stay up late for them. And then we go to Denver before coming back home and hosting the Utah Jazz and the Detroit Pistons. It is a very interesting time for the Miami Heat as they are on a roll here, and they are now in the 6th seed in the Eastern Conference, only 1 game back from the Philadelphia 76ers, who are at 33-24. And again, we can go on a run here. If we can get some of these teams like the Milwaukee Bucks and the 76ers to have some losses, lose like 6 of the games in the next 10, we can really go on a run. Jimmy will be back next game. Hero will most likely be back next game. Rozier possibly be back by the end of the week. No, I assume he will probably be back for a home game. I do not think he'll be rushed back for any of these road series that we have, the 2 games remaining. But again, and Jovic will also be back after this game. Exciting time to be a Miami Heat fan. It really is. Let me know down in the comments if you were watching this game. Let me know the biggest highlight that you remember. Caleb Martin had a massive dunk tonight. If you did not see it, go check it out on the Miami Heat socials. I know they're posting it everywhere. He took off from right outside the dotted line and really put the cap on the game as Sacramento made it a close game down the stretch in the fourth quarter. But again, the Miami Heat were very persistent, and that guy, Jaime Jaquez and Bam Adebayo, really stepped up when it was needed. It was great to watch. Thanks for watching this episode of Heat Digest. I'll see you guys on the next one.